According to a report published by Global Fund for AIDS on November 22, only 23% of people living with HIV/AIDS in Africa were on treatment for the past decade. The same report says that rate increased by 52% in 2021. 388,000 people were placed on antiretroviral treatment, while 78,000 were screened. The United Nations AIDS has revealed that this progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS is satisfactory. Cameroon is known to have recorded some 3,157 new infections in 2021. The United Nations AIDS has equally recorded a reduction in the incidence of HIV/AIDS amongst women aged 15 to 24. That is to say, some 60,000 people heeded to the advice of prevention services.
By equalizing, we can end AIDS. Firstly, we must equalize for women and girls to reduce their HIV risks. In sub-Saharan Africa, adolescent girls and young women are 3 times more likely to be infected with HIV than boys and men of the same age.
The 35th edition of World AIDS Day is commemorated under the theme Equalized.
2021 Spectrum statistics from the Ministry of Public Health revealed that 499,330 Cameroonians are living with HIV/AIDS, compared to 496,506 in 2020. The youth constituting the most affected population group, as Cameroon joins the international community to commemorate World AIDS Day this December 1st, under the theme Equalize, and the slogan Acting Together to End Inequalities. The Minister of Public Health, Manauda Malashi, this day in Yaoundé, used the occasion to laud the efforts of all stakeholders involved in the fight. He reminds Cameroonians that abstinence remains the best measure to stay safe from the killer disease. Different sensitization activities by the National Committee for the Fight Against HIV/AIDS organized all over the National Triangle. These under the patronage of the Cameroonian First Lady, Chantal Biya, Special Ambassador of UNAIDS. The celebration was also an opportunity to re-echo the message of UNAIDS, urging each and every one of us to address the inequalities which are holding back progress in ending AIDS.
As if COVID-19 had seized public attention, those concerned with the fight against HIV/AIDS in the Northwest region came out in full force this December 1st, 2022, to commemorate the 35th edition of the World AIDS Day. In an hour motorcade downtown Bamenda, they spread out on the streets and the food market, distributing condoms as a solution. They later boiled down to speech making, where speakers decried some hurdles.
In addition to the HIV pandemic, we also had to face a socio-political crisis, which led to serious implementation challenges, especially in the transportation of HIV medicines and commodities to some communities in our region.
As president of the Regional AIDS Control Committee, the Northwest Governor got represented.
Our theme for this year needs to be equal. The good news is that the government of Cameroon adopted sound policies and together with partners have adequately resourced the national response.
Sketches were also used to drive home the message of the 2022 theme, which is Equalize.
When we tested this population in the first January to 2022, we observed that in the female sex workers, the positive rate was about 7.9%. In the men who have sex with men, it is about 6%, and in the clients of female sex workers, the positive rate was about 7.1%.
Organizations working in the domain of HIV/AIDS exposed their activities in makeshift stands, one of them conducting on-the-spot HIV/AIDS tests and counseling.
Every end of year is punctuated with festive activities, a time in which many families have to move. This is a time where people are in mad rush to catch up with different family and professional obligations. So too, the highways are prone with accidents. Hinged on the need to contribute in curbing accidents on the highways, a minister of the gospel, Pastor John Conwy, has published a book titled Godly Manners of Driving.
Some of the things that we have in this book is we have the way that one of it is the manner where we see people today don't go to driving school. That's one of the aspect, but they are driving. They have driving license. You see on a highway that people who do not know how to manage a heavy-duty truck, they started by being just what we call motorboy, but they ended up being a driver. They don't know what driving is all about.
Passionate about saving lives, the theologian with the Cameroon Baptist Convention dissects the reasons behind accidents on our highways.
The fact that God rested on the seventh day doesn't mean that God was tired, because God can never tire. It is just the aspect of telling us, human, that we need rest. In everything you are doing, as a journalist, as a driver, everybody needs rest. Doctors need rest, because when you do not rest, you walk over time, you pass time walking, at the end you will discover that you yourself, health-wise, you are down.
Pastor John Conwy blames the accidents on human, environmental, and technical factors.
When you drive with the mind of God, knowing that what you are carrying, it is God, people in your car, you will be able to drive carefully. One thing we should know is that your talent of driving is not about you. God gave it to you. And you must use it the way that it will glorify God.
The 76-page book looks at driving from a biblical perspective. And according to the author, it does not suffice to know how to drive. Neither does it suffice to have dozens of years of experience. What matters is to drive in a manner that pleases God.
With the prices of basic commodities skyrocketing in the Cameroonian market as a result of import difficulties from supplying nations, alternative measures must come into play to meet the needs of the Cameroonian population. The import substitution policy has proven to be the most efficient option to overcome the rising scarcity. This implies that Cameroon must be able to balance her trading attitude by boosting local production in a larger scale. The irregularities continue to preoccupy the lawmakers during this parliamentary session, reason why the members of the Committee on Economic Affairs, Planning and Regional Development of the National Assembly have embarked on a one-day seminar this Thursday to reinforce their capacities in the understanding of the concept of import substitution policy in Cameroon. The MPs were drilled by experts on the realities, challenges and possibilities of implementing the concept in Cameroon, highlighting the available raw materials. Even on crutches, their dancing talent prevails. The lovely calculated steps and display. Coming together in this concert at the Red Cross Center in Yaoundé, persons with disabilities showcased their abilities to socialize and have fun. Aside dancing, they equally got angelic singing voices. this as Cameroon joins the world this Saturday, December 3rd, to commemorate the 31st edition of the International Day for Persons with Disabilities.
It is with a 1-0 defeat against Switzerland that Cameroon started the group phase of this homeland, handing the indomitable Lions their 8th consecutive World Cup defeat. And while they seem to be heading for an early exit from the tournament on their second outing, Cameroon came back from a decisive 3-1 to equalize at 3-3 against Serbia after Jean-Charles Opner, Vincent Aboubakar and Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting took turns in the second half to allow the Cameroonians to stay alive in the competition, thus showing the determination they will have to show if they want to obtain something against Brazil. Although Cameroon may still remain underdogs, Coach Rigobert Song said at the press conference yesterday that his team will be able to take advantage of a Brazilian team which will set
à l'ouest, ça mène le week-end. Il a raté le d'abord.